In today's video, I want to talk about the focus track on the DJI Mini 3 Pro. So how it works, is there any limitations, is it any good? Let's get straight into that video. Now what was missing on the DJI Mini 2 was Active Track. You couldn't get it. You could get third-party apps, but they weren't brilliant. And everybody wanted Active Track on the drone. That was what was missing from it. Now on the DJI Mini 3, we have Active Track 4.0 in conjunction with the sensors on this drone. So I've been testing this in a few different locations and showing you guys out today just how that works. Now this works identical to the DJI Air 2S. Both have Active Track 4.0. The Mavic 3 had Active Track 5.0 with that 360 degrees worth of tracking. On here we're at 4.0, and this is because of the sensors. The Mavic 3 has full 360 degrees worth of sensors. This on the sides doesn't have any sensors. The way the tracking and the sensors work on this is this has front, back and downwards position sensors. But if you just look at this picture now, this will give you a clear view of just about the angles that this drone sees when it's flying. So the front sensors have a 90 degrees vertical field of view and 106 degrees horizontal field of view, and the rear sensors have a 73 vertical field of view and a 56 horizontal. So those are the limitations because it doesn't have side sensors. Sideward flying on this can be done, but you've got to be more cautious of this. And when you are flying this can track people, it can track vehicles, and it can even track boats. So whilst in the stunning area of the Lake District filming some fantastic landscapes, I wanted to go and try this Active Track out. So bear in mind also that this was also done on one battery, just charging it on the go in between locations. So first, let's go and test out the tracking of me doing the trace and parallel. Firstly, let's start with Active Track. So we're going to do trace mode first. So you drag a box around you, or if you're close enough to it, it will have a plus marker in front of you. So just click that. And then what you want to do is before you click go, hit the record button and then press go. Then you're not going to miss anything. And then as you can see that the drone will then start tracing you from behind or in front. And what I like about this is that it's really smooth. It identifies me super fast and it's a nice flowing motion whilst I'm walking here. There's nothing jerky or aggressive in the motion that drone is flying. It's really nice and stable. You can also position the drone to the side of you and press parallel. So the same thing again, I'm going to drag the box around me and then this will then follow me from the side. Now you have to be cautious here as the drone doesn't have those side sensors. But again, as it starts to follow me from the side, it is nice and smooth again. And what I love about this on the new controller is that because it's got a dedicated zoom wheel on the top right hand corner, that you can zoom in and out with one hand to get this fantastic looking shot. And this is something you couldn't do before on the Mini 2 because to zoom in it was a bit more of a hassle. Now with a dedicated wheel on this controller, you get some fantastic looking shots just like this. We then wanted to test this out on a boat, how it tracked fast moving subjects. So to start with, I want to look at Spotlight, which is one of my favourite ones. Now what this does is that you basically control the forwards and sideways motions on the sticks yourself, and the drone will handle all the panning for you of the drone and the gimbal. So you can get some stunning shots where the subject is always in the centre of the frame.
You've been burned too many times. At the hint of a spark, you turn yourself away from the light.
Another part of focus track is position of interest. So here what you do again, you drag the box around the subject and click position of interest, and then the drone will then start to orbit on the direction you want it. So you can have it left or right. You can also have it quite slow or fast by adjusting the slider. And then what this is do is will then circle around you, again really smooth with a consistent flow about it. If you just look at this shot now, there's no jerky motions at all. You're getting all the landscape behind. It's just following the boat with ease. It's absolutely brilliant. Switching now back to active track, just going to drag that box around the boat again. And then in addition to this drone is its fast, powerful motors. And because of that, it was able to keep up with the boat all the time, positioning well and keeping smooth footage all the time. The tracking from this little drone is something else. It was able to do all this in both cine and normal mode. Keeping the drone locked on to that boat at all times is simply just incredible. But also being able to have you to be able to sit back and relax. You can adjust the gimbal wheel here to have it slightly more pitched up. You can see the landscape. This is a feature that everybody wanted for so long, and now we finally have it. The focus track on here also can track vehicles. So same again, drag a box around the vehicle, set your height and angle, and then hit trace and go. And the drone will then track the car from either the front, the back, or the side. And you can see from this clip now, as I'm driving off, just how smooth it is, how the drone keeps up with this car going at a fast pace. It loses it for a second then under them trees and then regains that track instantly. It works absolutely flawlessly, and that's what's great about this. I'm sure you'll agree that the tracking on here from those clips where I've just been testing it of the different locations are excellent. This is working flawlessly, and I don't think any DJI drone that's come out has been this good straight away on the first firmware. If we cast our minds back to the Mavic 3 Pro when that came out, the tracking was a bit all over the place and too aggressive, and it's got better in time. But this straight away is brilliant. So if you want to track yourself on a bike or running, cycling, on a boat, on a car, then this is going to work brilliantly for you. Now there is a limitation that we spoke about before, and because it doesn't have side sensors on here, when it is doing the parallel flight where it's going to the side, just be super careful there that there's nothing in its way, because it won't identify that. But if you stick to trace, especially behind you, you're not going to have any problems, but it can also trace you where it's flying backwards because of these rear sensors here. But just be careful in parallel mode. Only do that when you've got a completely clear vision. But tracking on here for the first firmware, I'm absolutely over the moon with it. I've tried this in several locations, not had a problem. And before, it used to be quite fiddly when you drag the box around you. It would take a few attempts. Straight away, first one. And then this controller. I can't say enough good things about this controller, but similar to the RC Pro, because you've got two dedicated wheels on the top, the tracking and this zoom wheel here is excellent. Just being able to zoom in really nice and smoothly on here, and then you can even pitch down and up on the gimbal as well, or even do both at the same time. So many opportunities with the tracking on here, I'm sure you'll agree. So if you enjoyed that, please give this video a like, subscribe if you're new around here. Loads more content coming on the Mini 3 Pro. I've got loads of new footage coming from a recent trip with this. It's going to blow your mind. It's going to be excellent. I can't wait to show you that. So thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.